Ni mingi, but I like the you're explaining what a polymath is.
Yeah.
A polymath is not just one tract minded. So let's talk about, because you've not talked about international touring. Let's talk about this whole, let's go back to your music and talk about
wonderful
exporting this.
So at the top of 2011, we have a business that's rapidly expanding. You have a musician who is just like, what the hell is happening with my career? Because it's like, we put out the project in 2009, now it's like 2011, like, guys,
what's going on?
What's happening? As in, tunafaa kufanya nini sasa? Okay, so then...
And you've just done one video?
So far one.
Whoa.
Two. I've also done the video for Life.
Okay.
Lee is the one who shot for me the video for Life. Lee Kanyotu.
Oh yes, I mean, yeah. Two, okay, that one for... Okay, yeah.
So Lee is like, I got you. And so Lee is like, so we shot Life.
Yeah, I remember.
So we've put out Life. So now I have three videos. I have Cool Waters from my first EP in 2008.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the one I was thinking.
No.
So Lee
Cool Waters, Lee shot Cool Waters in 2008. In 2009, we did Mikono Kwenye Hewa, which Betty's bro shot. In 2010, I did Life with Lee. Okay,
let's talk about Life then. Before then, we enter this katua.
So Life.
So much.
Maisha ya duniani mazuri kama maua, lakini yote yapita. Tora oyo amwere tigwo, ukicheka tarajia, utalia ndo dunia, sikiza na simulia. Tora oyo amwere tigwo watene na tene. Go and watch it. It's such a dope video even now.
Yeah.
So again, I'm directing the video. And so now Life for me it's exactly that.
Yep.
You know, it's being philosophical about it. It's how you take it. It's how you make it. If you go up, it's gonna go down. It was just a very philosophical, I just had a very philosophical approach to life. So I made a song called Life, you know. We made the video. So it's dope. So in now...
Did that get its...
Yeah, Life got its airplay.
Okay.
Life got its airplay.
And by the way, I'm going to go binge watch everything again with this new understanding.
So Life got its airplay. 2010. So 2010 we do Life and the Mamas, right? Those are like the big things in my career in that year. And 2011, we are now on the blanket side. We are now at Mamba Village. So now Blankets is about to grow bigly. We are about now to bring now Tier A African artists. Okay.
Yep.
And at the same time, I get through Penya involved in another thing called Africa Unsigned. So there's a Dutch startup for music called Africa Unsigned, and the idea is you're a dope African artist who's not signed, so you don't have a label facilitating you. So it's a competition. 3 of you are on a website, or 5 of you are on a website. The audience crowdsources for you. Guys give you. They can invest from $1. The minimum was like $1, maximum how you want. And then the first person who gets to 5,000 euros, actually it was in euros, the person you get the money. Now you take that money and you can now go make your EP, or you can do whatever you want next. So on Mikono Kwenye Hewa, because now Mikono Kwenye Hewa did quite well in like Netherlands. It got into a remix competition. Big DJs remixed it. It was like the song that never ended. It just kept going. So we're like, okay.
Willing buyer, willing seller, honey seller, looking at the fella, he trying to figure out what to tell her. Smiles, hidden agenda. Each thinks the other to be a presenter, but they exchange the names and they play the games with a poker face and the makeup hat on their hand and act. Now drop at the physical elevation, as my funds are at away physical motivation, like drinks together, conversation going and drink together, party really flowing up and away. Suddenly it's a new day. Who knew a good listen to kill it away? He rolls to his side with the thought in his mind, cause the last thing he heard was the MC say, Mikono Kwenye Hewa, Mikono Kwenye Hewa, Mikono Kwenye Hewa, Mikono Kwenye Hewa.
So I got into Africa Unsigned, and I was the first artist to make my 5K. So me, I was like, yes, new music, new videos.
So they give you the 5K.
So, and that's how then I ended up doing the shows like in Amsterdam, through, I think those videos, that's how I ended up being called to this festival called Salam Festival in Sweden.
Okay, slow down.
I'm so sorry.
You've been flying onto this plane like it's on the daily. Amsterdam is like your second home. I'm trying to get the initial stage of you even leaving here. You see, by the time you're already talking about that, your music's already there. So Ninka had already done her work.
Ninka doing their work on through Africa Unsigned. So I think I'm optimistic. To be honest, we're optimistic. The first time we went to Amsterdam, we're just like, we're optimistic.
And did you go the whole crew? Sauti Sol?
So me and Sandra. Sauti Sol had also got their Amsterdam, but we didn't go at the same time.
Okay.
So because everyone had their own development path. So them, they went at a different time. I went through Africa Unsigned.
Okay.
So I won, but in fact it wasn't $5,000. What they hadn't explained is a small print, which is it's half, because the other half is going to go to administration. So between Africa Unsigned and Penya for administrating the project, they paid themselves, and now I got half of the amount.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, cool. So then Ninka's like, yo, at this point, 2011, I think cracks have started emerging between Ninka and Wawesh. So Ninka is like, anyway, because the project money has come from the Netherlands, this competition you won it from the Netherlands, why don't we find some other producers in the Netherlands to work with? And I'm like,
I love it.
I don't mind. Let's
try.
Let's see what that's about. I'm really trying to think.
Because this sounds like the beginning of your second album. The production phase.
Yeah, it's a production phase. But Wawesh produced one of the tracks on it. Wawesh produced Welcome to the Disco.
Oh, nice. That was another
That is
big
the
one.
lead song of that project. So Welcome to the Disco.
Welcome to the disco.
This, ladies, is how to prepare for a ladies' night out.
Hair day, nails check, lips smacked, eyes pop, tummy tapped, back straight, heels on, ready? Where you going? Now when you spot that boy, you must act all shy and coy. You must touch his side and look away. The music swing and sway. Look again, catch his gaze, smile. Sip, smile, chat, sip, smile, flirt, sip, smile, nice. Now bring up the mandatory inventory. Crisp shot, abs tight, light and fun, deep and sweet. Hair is cut, nails are clean, matching watch and belt. Where we going? Touch check. I'm this check, toothbrush check, lotion check, deo check, top check, money check, protection check. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10,
Welcome to the disco. Men carry wallets to the disco. Women carry hearts to the disco. And everybody's welcome to the disco. Everybody watch out in the disco. And everybody's welcome in the disco. But everybody watch out in this disco. This phone call happened at 2 a.m. Well, we haven't talked in days.
So we produced that with Wawesh, and then Ninka was like, let's try and also produce with Dutch producers and see what comes of it. So there was 3 other tracks. So the EP had 4 tracks. So Dilly and Sage, of course, produced on the album. And then, so when we went, it was dope. It was a glow up for everybody. Me, Dilly, Sage. So Sage spent some time producing. Well, yeah, we're just over there freezing in Amsterdam together.
So you
crew.
took Sage. Okay, of course they're your band, so you're going with them
These are
because
my
of
niggas.
yeah. But then on top of that,
but also it was like now we're in studio. All of us are artists, so everybody
oh
do stuff.
man! First of all, you've got Dilly, who's a crazy
Yeah.
producer. Sage, who I'm hearing
Yeah.
produced as well.
Sage can write in like 10 minutes. She's like the fastest, and she composes, so she plays all her like melodies. If you're in a session with Sage, you're going to really enjoy your life. She's really, really good.
Nice.
Really good.
Is this EP available also on MOOC?
Yes! Welcome to the Disco is also available on MOOC.
I get that.
Get it now. Ding! Okay. So now,
Welcome to the Disco also had a video.
so then now we come back and we shoot a
Okay.
video. So remember,
Okay.
from this 2.5,
Yeah.
remember I got 2,500 euros.
Yes.
So we paid for Wawesh's time, we paid for those producers in the Netherlands, and then we had money to shoot the video for.
But what did they produce?
Mikono kwenye hewa. Who
Or
now?
the producers in the Netherlands?
So the other 2 songs, because I had to put out an EP. Remember, the purpose of doing Africa Unsigned was to end up with an
Yes,
album
yes.
or an EP.
Yeah.
So me, I put out an EP called Welcome to the Disco.
Song number 1 had Wawesh, which is
Yes.
Welcome to the Disco, the song
Yes,
itself.
exactly.
Then you're saying Sage on her own produced one. Or
No,
Sage and
no.
Dilly.
So Sage and Dilly co-produced. So Wawesh actually ended up producing 2 songs on that EP, and then a 3rd song was produced by a Dutch producer.
I get, okay, now.
And I'm forgetting his name, right? But he was the 3rd one. On that one, on the 2nd one, there's me and Sage, and Dilly had some input, and on the 3rd one, it was just a Dutch producer.
Okay.
Can I tell my story?
sophisticated. Never let my heart run up in the front of. I keep it measured, keep it tempered. Queen star, keep it treasured. Till I be up on 10 million coke machines. Till I be up on 10 different social scenes. Till they say my name like a
But on their own, when we were in Amsterdam, Sage made a bunch of music for herself.
Oh,
and Dilly made a bunch of music with
for
another producer.
I get it.
So, but in retrospect, I really wonder why it wasn't just like me and Dilly and Sage producing our own shit and these guys just supporting us. Interesting.
But it was good. It was
We
good experience.
did produce a song by ourselves.
I was waiting for this.
Dilly and Sage Tipito. We produced a song. Me, Dilly, and Sage produced a song called Tipito.
Nice.
Oh my God, this is such a good story. Oh my God, thank you, CTA. I can't believe this.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean it.
Okay.
That's a
so
good
now we've
setup.
done. Welcome to the disco.
Yeah.
Okay, recorded it. We've come to Nairobi. My friend Akisa is like producing our video. So we produced the video. Welcome to the disco. We have a hot song and now we have a video. We're like, yes. Now we don't go to Kiss, we go to 1FM. Because a bunch of our homies now work at 1FM and we're like,
Yep.
yo, 1FM is playing a lot more Kenyan music than Kiss is. So we go to 1FM and the music when I leave Welcome to the Disco. Then now when I call him to be like, yo, because he's like, oh, we have to go and talk to the... So 1FM is run, at least it used to be, I don't know if it's changed, but the program controller had to then go to the owner of the radio station to approve the music on the playlist. To each his own. So now when I call the music controller, he's like, yo, what did he say? He said the song is not Kenyan enough. He said Welcome to the Disco is not Kenyan enough. The station has a very Kenyan sound and Welcome to the Disco is not Kenyan enough, so it can't play there. So I was very angry, but now I wasn't hurt. So I've already had this thing.
Yeah.
So I was very angry. So that's how that day we ended up at the studio producing Tipito. We wrote Tipito I was just saying, just Tipito on this shit. Like,
Forget this rubbish.
forget them. Yeah. Just like you think, you think that if you don't play, it was quite interesting. I think I even tweeted about it. But that's how I wrote Tipito, and then Tipito was a late addition onto Welcome to the Disco, the EP.
Yeah. So it was you, Sage, and Dilly now just in the mix and just like do this thing.
Tipito, Tipito. Tipito, DQ and Dilly. Tipito, Tipito. Inside the beat, let them look out for you. Hide and seek, keep bricky show. You're the star of your own private shocky jazzy show. Break a rule now. Chukuna vile zimekupo. Acting like they know when they really don't. Have a clue on swimming against the flow. You already know how to handle no. You stand tall, you never fall. You dance on it. So you know, this is how I let go of the lies, deception, make a movie, inception.
Yeah, that was 20. Yeah, but then I think we put out the project in 2012. I can't remember if we put it out in 2011 or 12. But Welcome to the Disco was one of my favorite music moments in life.
Yeah. Even before Welcome to the Disco, when you're in Netherlands, what was it like? Because now you're talking about not the first time performing, but yes, the first time performing your music for a different race.
So now 2011, 2012, that year I went to, so 2011 we went initially to make the project, then 2012 we went now to release a project. And that's also when we did the shows in Sweden. So we did Selam Festival in Sweden, and then we also did the shows in Amsterdam for the project. But what I want to say is that it was so dope. It was so dope to play the music. Because, so you see, I'd also been playing for a while. I wasn't intimidated. It wasn't the first time I was singing for a white audience. When our London show, that had been a white audience.
Yes.
It wasn't the first time we were playing for a white audience, but it was the first time it felt to me like I was playing with my music, which you can go and like buy and like listen. So that was an interesting experience. Me and Sage and Dilly had been playing for a while, so now at least our stuff was tight. It was way better. Like now I had abandoned the idea of live. I abandoned live in entirety and embraced this half live. And so now our half live had gone developing. So it was now a decent gig. If you watch me in 2012, it was like, okay, this is decent. It's going somewhere. And I had the feeling like, with music, you only, as an artist, you only get to choose the music. You don't get to choose the audience part.
Yeah.
You don't get to choose who loves you. You don't get to choose why they love you. So, okay, you can spend your whole life looking over your shoulder, hoping that like Kenya will discover and love you, or you can just accept this love that is being given to you here, and just trust that, you know, a star burns for so many millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of years. So I might not derive the satisfaction of having that feeling right now that, you know, say Sauti Sol or Juliani were having at that time, which is like, your people love you, but it doesn't mean that people don't love you. Yeah. You know, it's so that was an interesting, like, it was an emotional time just to release that. Like, I don't have to be,
that's so deep.
I don't have to be loved by Kenyans. I can also accept the other love that exists, and that doesn't make me a failure.
And if that's so huge, that's so huge.
Yeah, that's what that 2012 trip taught me. It also taught me, I was just like, the next time I come to Europe, and we made that deal with Dilly and Sage after breakfast another day, we're like, the next time we come, it's like, it's gonna be for real, it's gonna be like big. It won't just be like, because now the path that Ninka was proposing. So by 2012, things had really fallen apart in Kenya. Yeah. And then
they had gone their own ways.
They were in the process of going their own ways. Ninka was actually in the process of now relocating back to Amsterdam. She was going back into the family business. They had had a big loss in their family. She was grieving. So we were not very aligned. Okay. I was feeling like I need more support. If there's a label, I should have more support. What's the plan here? What's the plan here? I wasn't hearing a plan that made, So I'm just like, the next time I come here, I'll come here on my own terms. I won't have been brought by anybody.
Whoa.
I'll come on my own terms. The next time I'll come here, it's because like I've been called to come here, but I'll come on my terms. Like, this one is gonna be hard. So it looked like at the end of it, in many ways it felt to me like, when the thing with Penya ended, you know, with Ninka and Wawesh, and it felt like my road had also ended. Yep. So I was like, okay, so I don't know what to do. So
that's Muthoni, you okay. Yeah, your story is okay. So,
but in that year, me and Musyoka reunited.
Okay, wait.
Hi, Musyoka.
I'm telling you, Muthoni, you've done so much.
Plot twist.
You've done so much. Like, I'm listening to you, and just more and more questions. Because, like, for example, you said Juliani, and I'm like, hold on, I remember you touring with Juliani for another.
Yes. Do you remember me touring with Juliani?
I remember you touring.
Juliani was going on tour, a university tour, and I was like, bro, all I want to do is tour, bro. He's like, you can come. Me, I can't cover any cost. If you can cover all your costs, you can come on the tour. And
this is like, before. Yes. This is before this, eh?
This is before. This is like Juliani's tour. I think was 2011. When did Juliani tour?
And this was when Juliani was Juliani.
Yeah, 2012.
In fact, I was like, Muthoni is touring with Juliani.
Yeah.
I did a 15 university tour.
What is that? KCCC.
KCCC. I paid for all of it.
Yeah, that was another big song, by the way. KCCC was insane.
Paid for
First of all, it was a tour. Yeah, in fact, let's talk about KCCC. Not just the song, but remember the one where you went to different universities and you were doing
I did
that project. You did, and how many songs?
I did KCCC. I did first of all the tour. I got Nani on a university tour, King Kaka. What? He asked me to be on my tour. Muthoni Drummer Queen was in my tour, Kama CCC.
That's insane.
I got the band. I paid everybody. But I paid it.
And you're going there, you're recording songs, you're shooting music videos.
I'm shooting.
Not yours, for other people.
For other artists, yeah.
Across the country. And then you put them beat of the week.
Buddha, because now I can do things.
As
much as I can, if I can imagine it, I'm going to do it.
And I killed it, bro.
I know.
So the thing that was interesting is,
in fact, just say that because that's you touring Kenya.
Yeah, so we did like maybe 5. We opened for him like 5 places. Njoro, that was the hardest one. Njoro.
So hold on, Julian is like, no problem, you can tour with me, but then you just handle your own expenses.
You have to handle all your expenses.
Yo.
And it made sense because even him, can you imagine what it takes for an artist to put together a tour?
Yep.
He didn't have enough resources. He has a band on the road. There's like equipment. It was just like, bro, I think
on top of that, he was with like in a dealie as well.
Yeah.
He sets up a thingy, people come and record songs.
It was very complicated.
And then he does a gig in the evening.
Exactly. So I was like, but bro, I got you. He's like, okay, do it. Went to Njoro, we went to Nairobi, went to Daystar. I did like 5. I'm trying to remember the other 2 universities. Now, the cool thing was, you see, I didn't need to be broken in. It was already Giuliani, so the audience was already there.
Yeah.
Okay? So me, I just needed to come, nitese, ama nifanyele kitu nadu, nitoke. So I also had a short set, short and sweet. You're an opening act, don't get carried away here, okay? You're here, you're doing a 35 or a 25. So it's tight. And you know, me and Dilly and Sage, we've been practicing more and more. So it's tight. Our show has become tighter and tighter. And a short show, it's like, so we're going to do a medley of this into this, into this, and the drum, then we rap, then boom.
Owie.
And everywhere it was always like, boom. So I was like, cool. So that was some version of validation. And it must have been that year because that's the year that I then now reunited with Musyoka. And so we're like, yo, takuaje?
Are you willing to accept my sound now?
Takuaje? I mean, but you know, also he had grown. More importantly, he had his own studio. And we had connected kind of when we had produced the tour for P Unit.
P Unit, yes.
So we had seen each other, I think, and it's just those things time.
Musyoka is like the 4th member of P Unit.
Correct. And there's also just a thing that time does.
Yep.
You know, so how you see things differently. So we did Feeling It with Musyoka.
Nice.
That year is when I discovered hip hop. 2012 is when I would say really I discovered hip hop.
In fact, you've said something and I'm just like, hold on. Octopizo? Had we skipped that?
Have we skipped Octo?
I know. Have we skipped that?
Skipped Octo.
That's insane.
Octo was 2011. So 2011 Wait.
In fact, hold on. We'll be back.
I wanted to,
Let's take a break.
Okay.
One sec.
I also wanted to check.